Hello and welcome back to another video on Alibre Atom 3D. So this is just a little update to look at the bolt we created in the previous video. A new feature that's been added to Alibre Atom 3D version 28 is the ability for the software to generate accurate modeled threads, which are really useful if you are going to directly manufacture a component from the 3D model. For example, if you're planning on 3D printing or CNC machining the part directly from the CAD model. So to do this, I'm just going to open the M8 by 30 cap screw we created previously, and we go into the Alibre Atom 3D part workspace. Now initially, because we were just creating a reference bolt, it would be good if you're using it just to locate, denote what fixings are used in assembly. We've left this without a thread, and we just included a little chamfer as a finishing feature. Now to use the thread tool in Atom 3D, we need to remove that chamfer first. So from the tree on the left, I'm just going to right click on the edge chamfer there and then click on the delete option to remove it. And now to add threads, we go onto the part tools, and there are two options for threads. There's the hole tool, which can create threaded holes for female threads, and then there is an external thread tool to add a thread onto a shaft. So for this one, I'm going to go onto the external thread tool, and that brings up this dialog. Now under left click in the box that says circuit edges, and I just need to pick an edge on the shaft of the bolt. I'm now just going to uncheck and recheck this filter by selected geometry. That just refreshes the list here, and then click drop down, and I can choose the thread specification we want to go with. So in this case, which should be an M8 thread, so we want ISO coarse. And then because this checkbox is turned on, filter by selected geometry, it knows that's an 8mm edge, so it's said that the sizes that we could go for are 8 or 9. So 8's fine. Now the other thing I need to set is a depth, so we want a fully threaded bolt. It's 30mm long, so I'm just going to change that to 30, and then I'm just going to click in another box in this dialog to update the preview. Now if I was to click OK at this stage, that will put a texture of a bolt thread just as a visual indication. However, if we want a fully accurate thread, I'm going to check this box here that says modeled. And we do get a warning. This is just a little reminder to say that fully modeled threads are quite geometrically complicated. So if you use a lot of fully threaded parts in an assembly, for example, you will significantly slow down the rebuild performance and graphics performance, sort of rotating the model round. So it's a good idea to use simplified fasteners if you're just using them to call out, there's 10 of these and 5 of those as a sort of assembly level. But as I said, the ability to fully model these is really useful if you're going to manufacture the component directly from the CAD data. So in this case, I'm just going to accept that and go continue. The other little thing we can do is it's a good idea to have a lead-in chamfer, and this is one of the reasons we removed the manual chamfer from here, is that if you want to include one with a fully modeled thread, we need to add it through the tool itself, and there's this option here just to create chamfer on edge. So I'll check that and then click OK. And now we have an accurately modeled M8 socket cap machine screw, which we could send output as a, if we want to 3D print this, you would then go File, Export, and then STL file. And I can just save that into our folder. And then you can set these options as you see fit. I tend to find that a 4-degree deviation and also a 1mm cell size gives a nice clean STL file for printing without making it too large. So if you wanted to make a part with a much finer thread, you may need to reduce this angle down a bit further. If maybe go down to sort of 2 degrees or 1 degree if you're looking at something fine like an M3 thread. But for M8, this will be sufficient. So I'll go OK, and that will create a STL file of the part. And with that, I can hit save and close the window to go back to the Alibre Atom 3D home screen.